The Lost Map. Lucas had always loved adventure stories, especially the ones about hidden treasure and ancient mysteries. He dreamed of finding a clue that would lead him to a secret fortune, just like his favorite heroes. But he never expected that his wish would come true one day, when he stumbled upon an old map in his grandfather's attic. The map was faded and torn, but Lucas could make out some symbols and words on it. It looked like a map of the nearby forest, with a red X marking a spot in the center. There was also a riddle written on the bottom. To find the treasure that you seek, you must be brave and not be meek. Follow the path that leads you west, and face the trials of the quest. At every fork, you'll see a sign, a clue to solve with wit and rhyme. If you succeed, you'll reach the end, where gold and glory will be your friend. Lucas felt a surge of excitement as he read the riddle. He had always wanted to go on a treasure hunt, and now he had a chance to do it. He quickly packed a backpack with some snacks, water, a flashlight, and a compass. He also took the map and folded it carefully. He didn't tell anyone where he was going, because he wanted to keep the treasure for himself. He ran out of the house and headed for the forest. He soon found the entrance to the path that matched the map. He followed it westward, feeling like he was in a movie. He wondered what kind of treasure was waiting for him at the end of the quest. Maybe it was gold coins, or jewels, or ancient artifacts. He couldn't wait to find out. He reached the first fork in the path, where he saw a wooden sign with a question on it. What has a face and 2 hands, but no arms or legs? Lucas thought for a moment, then smiled. He knew the answer. It was a clock. He looked at the map and saw that there were 2 arrows pointing to different directions. One had a picture of a clock on it, and the other had a picture of a snake. He guessed that the clock was the right way to go, so he took that path. He continued walking until he reached another fork, where he saw another sign with another question. What can travel around the world while staying in one spot? Lucas scratched his head, then realized the answer. It was a stamp. He looked at the map and saw that there were 2 arrows pointing to different directions. One had a picture of a stamp on it, and the other had a picture of a plane. He guessed that the stamp was the right way to go, so he took that path. He walked for a while until he reached another fork, where he saw another sign with another question. What is full of holes but still holds water? Lucas thought hard, then smiled again. He knew the answer. It was a sponge. He looked at the map and saw that there were 2 arrows pointing to different directions. One had a picture of a sponge on it, and the other had a picture of a bucket. He guessed that the sponge was the right way to go, so he took that path. He followed the path until he reached the final fork, where he saw another sign with another question. What belongs to you but is used more by others? Lucas frowned, then gasped. He knew the answer. It was his name. He looked at the map and saw that there were 2 arrows pointing to different directions. One had his name written on it, and the other had his grandfather's name written on it. He guessed that his name was the right way to go, so he took that path. He walked for a few minutes until he reached a clearing in the forest, where he saw a large wooden chest with a lock on it. He ran towards it, hoping that it was the treasure he had been looking for. He looked at the map and saw that there was a key drawn on it, with 4 numbers on it: 2, 4, 6, 8. He tried to open the lock with those numbers, but nothing happened. He tried again, but still nothing happened. He felt frustrated and confused. Why wasn't it working? Had he made a mistake somewhere? Had someone else found the treasure before him? He looked around and saw something shiny on the ground near the chest. He picked it up and saw that it was another key, with different numbers on it: 8, 6, 4, 2. He tried to open the lock with those numbers, and this time it worked. The chest opened with a loud creak, and Lucas gasped at what he saw inside. It was full of books. Old books, new books, big books, small books, books of all kinds and genres. There was no gold, no jewels, no artifacts. Just books. Lucas felt a wave of disappointment wash over him. He had been expecting something more exciting, something more valuable, something more worthy of a treasure hunt. He felt like he had wasted his time and energy for nothing. He was about to close the chest and leave, when he noticed a note on top of the books. He picked it up and read it. Dear Lucas, if you are reading this, it means that you have followed the map and solved the riddles. Congratulations! You have completed the treasure hunt that I prepared for you. You may be wondering why I left you a chest full of books instead of something more glamorous. Well, the truth is, I think books are the most precious treasure in the world. They contain knowledge, wisdom, stories, and imagination. They can teach you, inspire you, entertain you, and challenge you. They can take you to places you've never been, and introduce you to people you've never met. They can make you laugh, cry, think, and feel. They can be your best friends and your greatest mentors. I know that you love adventure stories, so I thought you would enjoy this one. I hope that you had fun along the way, and that you learned something new. I also hope that you will appreciate the books that I left for you, and that you will read them with curiosity and joy. I love you very much, and I'm proud of you for being brave and smart. You are my treasure, Lucas. Your grandfather. Lucas felt tears in his eyes as he read the note. He realized that his grandfather had planned this treasure hunt for him before he passed away last year. He remembered how much his grandfather loved him, and how much he loved reading and sharing books with him. He looked at the chest again, and saw it in a different light. He realized that it was not a disappointment, but a gift. A gift from his grandfather, who wanted to give him one last adventure and one last lesson. He smiled and wiped his eyes. He decided to take one book from the chest and read it right there in the clearing. He chose a book that looked interesting to him, and opened it. He read the first sentence. It was a dark and stormy night. He felt a surge of excitement as he read on. He knew he was about to embark on another adventure, this time in his mind. He thanked his grandfather in his heart, and continued reading. Treasure. Something valuable or precious, especially hidden or buried. Example. He dreamed of finding a clue that would lead him to a secret treasure. Riddle. A question or statement that is difficult to understand or solve, and often has a clever or humorous answer. Example. To find the treasure that you seek, you must solve the riddle on the map. Quest. A long and difficult search or journey for something. Example. He followed the path that leads him west, and faced the trials of the quest. Assailant. A person who attacks or harms someone else. Example. The mystery becomes dangerous when an assailant hears about the treasure and is determined to push Nancy off the trail. Clearing. An open space in a forest or among trees. Example. He reached a clearing in the forest, where he saw a large wooden chest with a lock on it.